All right. Hi, everybody. It's JennyJ1911. Guess what? Well, we took last week off and we are back in full swing this week. We have a very, very special guest with us tonight. Ooh, why am I getting so much feedback? Very, very special guest with us tonight. That might be my guest. I don't know.
Is it? No.
I'm hearing a lot of
No, because my audio is going through the headphones.
it just keeps.
No, because my audio is going through the headphones.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I think I figured it out. There we go. That's better. I had two windows open with my video playing in both of them. So, woohoo!
Oh,
The fun of live TV, right?
yeah.
All right. So anyway, back to business. We are here with a very, very special guest tonight. You all know that Affordable Armory and I go way back, don't we?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. All the way back to, I don't know, February.
February, yep.
Hey, it's almost
we go way back to earlier this year.
Exactly. So, but anyway, everybody knows Affordable Armory has been a huge supporter of helping me get started. He's been in the game for a little longer than me, but he has been a great inspiration for me and a great friend and lots of help and very supportive. So I wanted to have him on the show tonight just to touch base with him, catch up with him. We haven't gotten to talk in a while. So, and I thought you guys might want to hear us ramble on about nothing and everything all at the same time, right? So I am first of all going to give a little shout out to some special people in the house. I did see Cowboy Jeff was on here earlier. His comment is gone now, which means he must have logged out, but I'm sure he'll be back any minute. Slick Six Guns is here. Brian's Custom Canvas is here. And let's see, Michael Dunn, member Michael Dunn is here. Viejo, also known as Mr. Walter Bunning, is here. He's in the garage right now getting some powder coating done, he says, while he's watching the show. So shout out to him for multitasking. Critter is here. Oh no, Critter drank some water from Mexico. That's never good. Daniel Kearney is here. Keith Gregory, member, is here. Mark Nemeth, Michael Slee. There's Cowboy Jeff. Cowboy Jeff says, "Who are these new peoples?" Hey, we love to see new names on here. So that's always great when we can have, a few new people joining us. And
I did post it on my channel, and I did a video short as well saying that I would be here tonight. So some of the new people might be my subscribers.
Some of yours. Yep, exactly.
Not saying that 100%, but it is a possibility.
Yeah, that is a possibility. So I have a little bit of change in my staff tonight. You might all know that my husband usually sits over in the chair over here passing me notes throughout the live. He's not here tonight. He's actually out on a work task. He was hoping that he would be able to join remotely, but he just called me about 5 minutes before we started, and he is busy at work doing stuff out in some not very nice weather. It's rainy and windy here and kind of chilly. So he's out doing that, but in his place, I have my daughter. She's sitting off camera, giving me the 15-year-old glare right now. So she's here to help me out just in case I miss some comments, and she's gonna be keeping an eye on things in case I miss something. So apparently Affordable Armory is helping promote the Jenny J Cup. As you can see,
get that out of the way.
That's right. We're twins. We have the same cups. So we are, we're the cool kids. And I know Cowboy Jeff, he's probably drinking out of his right now too, I'm sure. So, okay, let's get down to business. Michael Dunn says, "Hi, daughter Jay." She's waving. You can come over and like wave on camera. No, she says no. She's not that brave. She's shy. Everybody saw the video with her though. She was the one of the daughters I had in one of my videos. Yeah, now she's pantomiming gagging. So she doesn't like seeing herself on camera. All right. So Affordable Armory, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you worked all day. So now you've got coffee, decaf coffee in front of you.
Yep.
So tell me, what is new with you?
Well, so first off, I turned 40 on Saturday. That's
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. So that's been a big thing. And actually, I had to leave early. My friends were out of town over the weekend, and so we were having a get together this evening, and so they could give me my gifts and whatnot. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then since I turned 40, I decided I usually buy myself a gun for my birthday, and I got a gun in 40 Smith & Wesson to commemorate.
Nice. That is awesome.
I've never really given 40 its due. I've never owned one.
Yeah.
I have several 9mm, and that's been my go-to caliber. I've owned a couple of 45s, obviously 1911s, and so I've got revolvers and 357 Magnum, but I've never really I've shot several 40s, but I've never owned one. So I can't say that I've given it its fair due. And I just thought, buy a 40 for the 40th birthday. And
yeah. So. But you haven't gotten to shoot it yet.
I have not shot it yet. No, I'll probably shoot it this week.
Yeah.
Sometime. And then obviously there'll be a video about it on the channel. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so tell me what's going on with your channel. Like how is it going on your channel?
It's actually, it's kind of going okay. I haven't been putting out the videos that I used to lately.
I second that for me.
For a number of reasons. One, like I was telling you before we hopped on here, it's the busy season. And so I have just had so much going on at work that when I get home, I'm just like, I'm done for the day. So I'm just not going to film. Also, I've been getting up earlier because I go work out in the morning. Sometimes I go, like this morning I did jujitsu, and then I went and worked out after doing jujitsu. And so after this, I'm absolutely going to crash. Even with the coffee, I'm going to just absolutely crash.
Yeah.
And so,
I feel your pain. I mean, I get up at 4 and it's just, And I saw somebody comment, I think it was Cowboy Jeff commented on here earlier and said, can't wait for that. It's going to be a late night with the 3-hour, live.
He always says that.
I know. And I'm like, yeah, dream on. Not getting that tonight. Well, I think he would be in for a rude awakening when both of us just fall asleep on camera.
Right.
Right. I mean,
okay, we'll leave the cameras running, but not much is going to happen.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm sure Critter or somebody could make some comments over in the side chat and entertain everybody. Oh my gosh. Well, I know I totally feel your pain. I'm kind of going through the same thing. We have, I feel like we've got candles lit at both ends sometimes and trying to get videos made. Our goal is we were going to this last weekend. Some other things came up. But with the holiday and everything, it's hard to get videos done. So this next weekend, we're gonna, fingers crossed, we're gonna get a couple new ones out too. So, it's a lot of work. But Reese says, I thought Jenny J was in YouTube timeout just because I haven't posted anything. So I've had people sending me messages like, are you okay?
Where did you go? Yeah, what happened?
Where did you go? Exactly. So, okay. So, are you still teaching?
Yeah, actually I am.
So what have you been teaching lately?
So I just, last month started teaching an AR class. It's just an introductory class teaching, the parts of the gun,
Mm-hmm.
talking about like what accessories you should get for it. And then we actually go out to the range and I teach them how to zero their gun.
Yeah.
And so that's been pretty successful. And then actually later this week is I called it Beyond the Basics, and it's going to be like kind of, I don't want to say run and gun, because it's not like that, like it's not the tactical type stuff. It's not like competition style shooting or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's more like actually using the rifle. So we'll do like some positional shooting and ready positions and stuff like that. So rather than just like shooting at the target, trying to hit a bullseye kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. So where can I sign up to do this?
Yeah.
Just make the trip down there, right? I mean, it'll be easy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That'd be fun. I mean, I get invitations to various places. We had somebody on a couple weeks ago that said, "Hey, come on out to Wyoming and go." I think he said, like, get your elk license or something. You can go elk hunting this next year.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, that would be something. So I think we should all, maybe we all just need to like have a little travel group. We can travel around to each other's places and just
Yeah.
start shooting, right?
There you go.
Well, so I had a few things I was going to talk about and kind of ask you guys about, especially have you weigh in Affordable Armory.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about is gun shows. So, we went to Tulsa a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
This last weekend, we went to a gun show here in St. Charles at the convention center. And the people who show up at the St. Charles gun show are very different than the people that show up at the Tulsa gun show. The Tulsa gun show is a lot of like older, historical guns. There aren't a lot of polymer guns there. It's a very different kind of gun show.
Sure.
So at the St. Charles gun show, every time they have this gun show now, and I don't know if this is a trend that you all are seeing at your local gun shows or not. People are creating distractions so that their buddies can go in and start snatching stuff off tables. So this last weekend, apparently right after we were there, and it cost $14 to get into this gun show, $14 per person, which there were 3 of us. So that's almost $50 to get in. Apparently right after we left, somebody fired a shot in the gun show. And I guess, mayhem ensued. And I don't know if vendors had things stolen or not. But I was just wondering, have you been to any gun shows lately, or have you heard about this trend happening? I mean, it's kind of scary.
It is kind of scary. Yeah. I think that's been an ongoing issue for several years now. I haven't been to a gun show in quite some time. I just don't have the time to go, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm always working. I'm a busy guy. I would love to go to one. But the ones I have been to in the past, for example, I went to the Tulsa one in 2017, I think. So 5 years ago. There was a negligent discharge,
Really?
right at the door. And it was the security guard was checking the guy's gun and he had a negligent discharge, and it was on video. You could probably go find it on the internet somewhere.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I mean, that's, it's unfortunate, but it does happen. The stealing thing, I mean, that's always been a problem, because, if you're one person watching the booth and you turn your back or you leave to go get food or whatever, I mean, it's just stuff sitting there and you just pick it up and walk away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully you have honest people who would say, hey, don't do that. Or, hey, I saw you take that, put it back.
Right. But I mean, I think that there are a lot of people who are intentionally doing this kind of stuff, and we're seeing another trend here. And I don't know if any of you guys are seeing it. Now, of course, we're near St. Louis. But a trend we're seeing is that people are stealing cars and then driving them through the front of stores.
Yep.
And specifically gun stores, gun shops, and stealing or trying to steal guns. I mean, it's a huge trend here right now, and they think it's kind of the same group of people that's hitting all these stores. But they're not very bright, because here's what they did a couple of weeks ago. So they tried to break into a gun store here in St. Charles, and they weren't able to get past the barriers, right? So they weren't able to break in. So they decided the next time they were going to try to break in through the back of the store. Well, they tried to drive in to the back of the store, but they hit like 2 stores down. So they didn't even get the right shop. They meant to get the gun shop, and they went a couple of doors down and completely missed their target. But, that's like, there have been some places here that have been hit multiple times. People, like gun shops here, are all putting up like cement pillars and stuff in front of their stores to try to, avert this. So it's kind of scary.
That's happened a couple times recently here in the Nashville area.
Really?
It's I mean, and it's caught on video, and it's like they don't care, that you can clearly see the license plate of the vehicle, and everything that they take is on video. It's crazy. Like, I don't know what would possess someone to do that. You're gonna get caught because it's on video. I mean, unless the gun store doesn't have video cameras, but I know mine has cameras to where you can see everything anywhere. And
unfortunately, what we're seeing is that they have this circle of people. They have it down to a science, because they are in and out in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They have people drive through the front of the store, and then these people all come in, grab stuff, and then there are multiple getaway cars out in the parking lot waiting for them. And they are in and out in under 2 minutes. And I think, one of them that we had read about recently, they were in for 1 minute and 45 seconds. The cops got there in 2 minutes after they had broken in. They missed them by 15 seconds.
Right.
But they're still not caught. So I think they're just going to get sloppy. I think they're going to get heady and full of themselves and get sloppy and make mistakes, and they will get caught eventually. But
right. Yeah. And I think what they're doing too is they're scouting the store beforehand. So they know what's kept where in the store. And so when they drive in, the reason they're so quick is they already know the stuff that they're going to take. And once they've got it, then they're out.
Exactly. But, we have a lot of friends in different gun stores in the area and gun shops. And, we worry for all of them and all of their businesses, because that hurts a business every time something like that happens. Especially if they have to shut down. I know that Osage County guns here that got broken into a couple of months ago, they were shut down for over a month while they
wow. Yeah, I was going to say that too. What I've found is, our stores typically were competitors, if you will, which in some ways we are, yes, but also it is a gun community.
Right.
And so in the most recent case, when this happened, like all of the other gun stores, including ours, we were on their Facebook, messaging them, calling them, saying, "Hey, what do you need? We'll help you out, to get your doors back open." And they were open. It happened like midweek, and they were open by Saturday. Like it was a couple of days. They had everything repaired, and they were back open and in business, which was awesome. And that was all because we all just came together to help them out.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, different stores take different amounts of damage, unfortunately. And it's just harder to get some of them reopened, I guess. But yeah, it's just scary. It's scary because, and these are the people who are getting their guns obviously illegally.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the law-abiding people like us who are following all the rules, and other people are giving us gun people a bad name, because this is their behavior. So I don't know. It's just disappointing, but anyway. So another thing about the gun show, I kind of want everybody to weigh in on this. And Affordable Armory, have you started reloading yet? I'm going to guess the answer is no.
No.
In all your spare time, right?
Right, exactly.
I know. You're just waiting to win that press, aren't you?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, so apparently I missed this, but one of my coworkers came into work yesterday and said, "Hey, Jenny, did you go to the gun show this weekend?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Did you?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "Did you see the guy with the table full of primers?" And I said, "No, I didn't." Apparently there was a guy there selling primers for $100 for 1,500 primers. So $100 for a brick and a half of primers. And I was like, wow, that's a really good deal. And he said, yeah. Apparently he had them marked down really low like that because they were left in a basement for too long and they were really tarnished and stuff. So, I'm just wondering, like, anybody here, especially my reloaders, like Critter or Walter or anybody else, would you guys buy primers like that? Because
can you fix that? I mean, like, with brass, you can tumble it and wash it and all that stuff. But with primers, I mean,
you can't. Yeah, you can't really
do anything if it already has that exposure, right?
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking. Like, I would be, and I talked about this with my husband, and he said, geez, I'd be worried about like squib loads or something. I mean,
that's one of the main things we talk about in the classes when we're talking about malfunctions is damage to the ammunition, and one of those being moisture to the primers.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, well, it's the same as we don't clean our guns with our ammunition nearby, right? Because you don't want to contaminate anything. But yeah, I don't know. I felt kind of like I'm not so desperate for primers that I would probably opt to do that. But so Critter says I prefer to buy new primers unless I know where it came from. Reese says reloading. Jenny J hasn't hit 5,000 subs.
That's it. Yet. Me and Reese are on the same team there.
That's right. Exactly. You guys are going to have to. I can see it now. Affordable Armory is going to say, I get the press on even weekends, and Reese gets it on odd weekends. We're going to have to just ship it back and forth. It's going to be from a split home. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would love to get up to 5,000 subscribers. So, by the way, if anybody wants to pass this channel along and make your friends and family subscribe so they can give you the press if they win it. So, okay, Brian's custom canvas says not good. No. Once a past is compromised, game over. Yeah. I just, yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was a little iffy. So, all right. So, Affordable Armory. Let's get back to you. Now I've asked my questions.
All right.
So tell me, what is going to be the gun that you ask Santa for? Because I put 4 choices on my YouTube. And let's see here. I'm going to see if I can pull that up and take a look at it.
Yeah. Was that today or?
Yeah, I just did that tonight. It's a poll. Oh, okay. It's actually a poll. It should have been a poll that showed up on the chat here. I'm not sure. I know my daughter said she saw it, so right? My poll. All right. Let's see. But it doesn't show up. It doesn't actually show up in the StreamYard for us, I don't think. Okay, so here we go. According to this poll, we have, well, I got to click on it. There we go. So I asked, which gun are you asking Santa to leave under your tree this year?
Mm-hmm.
Choices were Desert Eagle, Smith & Wesson Model 10 revolver, a Remington 870, or a Colt 1911.
Oh, I'm taking the Model 10 all day.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck because not many other people are asking for that one, apparently.
Well, I've got an 870 already.
Oh, you do?
I've shot the Desert Eagle enough. I mean, I just don't see any practical purpose for it aside from it's a cool movie gun.
Yeah.
It's a collector gun. It's fun to shoot once in a while.
Yeah.
But the Model 10, that's a classic. You know, the second would be the Colt 1911. I mean, that's easy.
Exactly. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, I would have voted for the 1911. In fact, my daughter said, I don't know, which one should I vote for? And she was the first vote. I said, the 1911. You know who you're talking to, right? But yeah, we have the Colt 1911 actually is leading right now at 46%. And then in second place is the Desert Eagle, which kind of surprises me because, like you, I thought people would have gone for the revolver.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. And nobody wants the Remington 870. We've only got like
well, they're a dime a dozen. I mean,
exactly. There are only 8% of people want that one. So so let's see. Reese says, since Santa is technically me, I want a 50 BMG. Might as well. I mean, make yourself happy, right? Critter says, I'd rather have a mag-fed gas-operated shotgun. Desert Eagles are rebranded Bull Armory weapons. That is true. Michael Dunn wants an AR. Michael Slee says he went with the 1911, but it needs to be optic ready. You'd be hard pressed to find something like that.
I don't know about optics on a 1911.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know, like, well, the staccato, that's a 2011, like that. Those are, you can put an optic on those, and they've been pretty popular. But like a classic 1911, I don't see it.
Right.
It's the same with like the Beretta. They just came out with the what is it? The M9A4 or whatever, and then there's the Langdon Tactical one. Those are optics ready Beretta 92s, and I'm like, no, it's a classic gun. Stop messing with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
and it just looks like it's already a huge chunky gun, and then you want to put this big thing on top of it too. It's
right.
No,
my husband just got that new Dan Wesson, which nobody guessed what Dan Wesson he got. So I guess everybody still has to wait for the video, but he got that knowing, he's a red dot guy, but he knew that he wasn't going to be able to put any optics on that. And he kind of went back and forth. He was like, I don't know if I should get it, if I should not get it, because I can't put any optics on it. But at the end of the day, Dan Wesson won out because, iron sights. And it's got, I'd never seen this before. Maybe you probably have, but it has like brass dots in the sights.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
I have a Colt revolver that has the brass bead front.
Yeah, the brass beads, exactly. And so, my husband was like, I actually really see those very well. So I don't know.
So time out for a second. Michael Slee, I'm not saying I'm against optics. I have plenty of guns that have optics on them. Like I have several Glocks with optics on them, several Sig Sauer pistols with optics on them. And so I'm not anti-optic. Just want to be clear. All right. I love optics on a gun. In fact, I've taken training classes that were specific to running a red dot on a gun. So Just want to make that clear. Just not on the 1911. It doesn't belong on a 1911.
And that's the word.
There you go. Yep.
Well, and Daniel Kearney actually made a very good point. He said, you sell the Desert Eagle and then you can buy all the others.
Yeah.
That's true. Ask for the Desert Eagle. That's actually good. That's good financial planning right there. So I didn't think about that when I made the poll, but
well, could you? How much is the Model 10 going for nowadays?
I don't know. I haven't priced one, so I'm not really sure. I'm sure one of our viewers can look that up and tell us. But or
someone go do the math for us.
Yeah, exactly. So Brian's Custom Canvas says, I have the Desert Eagle novelty, sold my 870, bought Mossberg 590 A1. I'm a 1911 guy. Never can have too many. That's true. Critter has a Coonan. Yeah, I got to shoot that Coonan a few weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. So, have you shot a Coonan?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a Coonan?
No, I don't own one. When I was working as an RSO in Oklahoma, I got to shoot a ton of cool guns. Yeah, because people like to show off their guns. So, I met guys that had like every model of CZ ever made. They'd be like, "Have you shot this one?" Nope.
Yeah,
I have now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how Les always is when I go out to Gateway. He's like, "Hey, Jenny, have you shot a blah 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 yet? You got to shoot this. You got to do a video on it." So it's like, a lot of people have some really awesome gun collections, but isn't that one of the cool things about the gun community is that everybody really wants to like share that with.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a natural introvert. And I just found, like, when I was getting into guns, I found myself talking to people, like, just out of my normal personality. I wouldn't otherwise do that, but I was like, I want to know more. So I'd ask questions. And then I also found people were like, here, try this gun. Here, shoot this gun. Or here, you should try this technique that might help you out a little bit. Or just people were more than willing to share their knowledge or share their cool gun that you'd never seen before. And then as I progressed, I eventually became that person where people would see me at the range. They'd be like, "Oh, what's that thing? Is that the new whatever gun?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually it is. You want to try it out?" And so yeah, that's what I love about the gun community is how willing we are to share. And
well, I know, and like even when we're doing that, it seems like more often than not they also give you the ammo. Like when they give you your gun, they're like, here you go, here are 2 magazines already loaded up for you. And it's like, I mean, yeah, people are just, but I think that's because we all realize that, we all have that same interest. And believe it or not, you say that you are a natural introvert. And I, at my job, I now work in the firearms industry for my day job. And I am so much more talkative than when I was a teacher. When I was a teacher, I actually would say I was pretty introverted too. And now that I'm working with gun people, I talk all the time, and people accuse me of talking too much. And I'm like, I don't know. I agree with you though. I think that there's something about, that community just brings that out in you. It's kind of a brotherhood, I guess, brother/sisterhood. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good community to be part of for sure.
I'm just reading some of these comments.
Yeah, I know. I always get behind on them. Brian's Custom Canvas. Does the hubby have the Dan Wesson heirloom? No, he does not, but that's a good guess. Reese says, CZ. I know. I don't think you can go wrong with any CZ, but I don't know. I haven't found one that I didn't like yet, but.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh man. And that's always kind of one of the first things, like we'll go, we'll go out to Eagle Armory or something, and they always have a lot of CZs out there, and where I was like, oh, so many CZs. It's just so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Dunn wants to know, did you find any good deals on Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
Oh, that's a good topic.
I didn't look. Did you happen to look at anything Affordable Armory? Because I really honestly haven't even
So sort of yes and no. Again, having my own YouTube channel, having several sponsors and affiliates, I had advance notice of a lot of the sales that were going on.
Yeah.
And probably should have made a video to tell my audience about them, but I'm sure they had no problems getting, videos from other channels, and as well as like I said earlier, the bajillion emails that we all got over the weekend.
Yeah.
But I didn't indulge in any of them myself.
No.
But I know, like, most of the holster companies, the mainstream ones, including this one here, we're running deals. Some, like, I saw one that was like 40% off, which is pretty cool.
Gosh. Wow.
And then, all the like Olight flashlights, if you guys are into that, that everyone puts a video out on.
Yeah.
Just all sorts of stuff out there. And I just kind of stayed away from it this year. Didn't really care for it.
Well, we did the I don't know, the obligatory trip to Cabela's and Bass Pro, and
I used to do that every year.
Yeah, those, we went to those, but honestly, like, I'm just, again, this is my introvert part of me. I really don't like standing in a crowd of people in line to check out. So,
Yeah, and you got to get there at like 3 a.m.
No.
You don't do that?
Yes, no. I have never done that in my life. Honestly, I have never been that girl.
Yeah. Well, again, this was back in Oklahoma. I've never done it here in Tennessee, but our Cabela's would open on Black Friday at 4 a.m. So, and you get there, if you got there at 3, you were in like towards the end of the line. But they, they'd have all sorts of giveaways. They're handing out tickets and stuff, and then they'd also come down and be like, "Who's buying this item? Who's buying this item?" And then they like move you to a different line if it was that item, because they'd have like gun safes and stuff that was on sale, and so they're like, okay, well, that's different from the regular stuff. Or if it was a firearm, they moved you to a different line.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow. Well, I know, we just, I don't know, I'm an online shopper. Unless I'm going to a gun store, I'm usually pretty much an online shopper. So
yeah,
I just don't deal with crowds very well. And yeah, like Michael Dunn says, my emails kept coming in, couldn't keep up. It's so true. Like, I've gotten so many texts from the same companies, like 3 times a day, Black Friday specials extended. And it's like, it's too much. I want to go back up real quick before I lose this comment. Daniel Kearney says Smith Mod 10 is going for 5 to 7 Benjis on average. So there we go. So there's our answer.
Okay.
$500 to $700.
Right.
Not bad. I mean,
so you could definitely, let's see, if you got the Desert Eagle and sold it for what they're going for.
Yeah.
You could definitely get that gun and the 870, and then I'd need to know the price of a Colt 1911.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be close. I'll say that, depending on how much you get for your Desert Eagle.
Well, and I always figure 3 guns is better than 1.
Yeah.
So I think that's a win. Reese says he took his Canic Whiteout to the range. It got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Reese, I want to know, did you wear your Princess Leia buns? I can just imagine. I will say, having met Reese, I don't know if he'd look very good with Princess Leia buns.
No. And that's a gun that we've both reviewed. So
yeah,
literally the same model, the whiteout version.
Yep. And it's so, like, I don't know. Every time I see a Canic, and I've said it before, every time I see a Canic and the whole kit that comes with it, I'm always so impressed because they give you so much stuff. You know, it's really like it's like a gift, you know. It's just like, ooh, look at all the little extra goodies you get. And I think Canic has it right. I mean, I can't think of another gun manufacturer that puts something out like that.
Yeah, it's definitely the best value on the market, you know, especially, you know, my channel's called Affordable Armory, so that's what I'm
Right.
looking for.
Uh-huh.
And I still to this day think the Taurus is the best value pistol. But if you're looking for whole package, absolutely spend $100 more, get the Canic, because of the stuff that it comes with. So
yeah, you get the holster and you get like different optics plates and you know the little tool kits. Sometimes they come in little
gun shaped
things, like gun shaped things. Exactly. And it's like, oh, it's so cute. I think the one I saw looked like a miniature of that, whatever the gun was. And you know, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think I think it's a great selling feature of that. But so what so you brought up something interesting. So you said you would recommend the Taurus, but if you want a bigger package of stuff, you would say Canic. So what other affordable guns right now are you recommending to our audience, Affordable Armory?
Wow. So I haven't thought of like a top 5 in some time. That's a good question.
Nothing like putting you on the spot.
I know, right?
We'll just play a little theme song in the back here, and you can think about it. Hold your card up. So, Alex, my answer is.
So right now, I would say like the Smith and Wessons are going for pretty cheap because I am pretty sure, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure they're moving their factory to Tennessee here, and I think they're going to redo their whole lineup.
Yes,
because they've already recently started announcing, you know, the new metal one came out, and then just 2 days ago, I think they announced the new competition model. It's got a compensator built into the gun. And so I think they're going to redo their whole lineup because they've deeply discounted some of their other guns. So you can go get a M&P 2.0 right now for, you know, between $400 and $500, no problem.
Right.
And that's a very reliable handgun. So that would be near the top. If you can find that gun in the low 400s, go for it.
Yeah. Well, I just highlighted Reese's comment here. He said he would not look good with guns. I appreciate that, Reese.
Thanks for the heads up.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay. So if you were to recommend, do you ever do shotguns? You ever look at affordable shotguns?
Well, I mean, not the cheap stuff. No. I probably should, right? I mean, I probably should just go get one of these $200 shotguns and then and find. I know, right? That's exactly it. With a pistol, it's one thing, you know. If you're like, okay, you get some failure to eject, and you get some, you know, maybe a double feed or whatever. Like, okay, you got some malfunctions. Clean it, lube it, try it again, and whatever. But with the shotgun, it's like that's a big, powerful thing that if something bad happens, it could be very, very bad.
Exactly.
And I just don't know that I want to try that.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I mean, and you know, it's funny because you know sometimes we see some guns like this last weekend. Cabela's and Bass Pro had what was it? They had a revolver that was like $79. And then for an extra $20, you could buy the revolver with an extra cylinder. So you can change it out. So a cylinder apparently is only $20.
It is, yeah. I bought the 22 Magnum cylinder for my Heritage, and I I just ordered it from them. It was like $20 or something. So
And so how have you shot it?
yeah.
And how does it shoot?
Oh, it's awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not shot one?
No,
go get one. It's only like $150. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
just go buy one. I
Yeah,
got mine for free on a Academy was doing like a Father's Day special one time. It was by the Taurus. It was before the G2C. It was the Millennium Pro or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Millennium Pro. And if you buy that gun, you got a free Heritage Rough Rider. And I was like, well, that's cool. 2 guns for the price of one. And I hated that Taurus. Now the G2C and since then have been very good, but that gun was just absolutely terrible. And so I sold it, got what I paid for it. So now I have a free Rough Rider that I actually enjoy. So
that you actually enjoy. Plus, it has an extra cylinder.
Yeah.
So you can.
Well, I had to buy the extra cylinder later on, but yeah.
Yeah.
But they do sell them as a kit. They do make ones where it comes with both cylinders.
Yeah, I did see that. So I want to give a little shout out, Dennis Dixon. You know, Dennis is my teacher, and he's also my my chief range safety officer out at Gateway that I work for. Really, we just stand around and, you know, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that we talked about earlier, Affordable Armory, that says, here, shoot this.
Shoot this gun, yeah.
This. All the time. And so anyway, he commented and said, AREX Delta is a real good deal. He also was begging us to get him an FN at Tulsa in the Tulsa Gun Show, but we didn't ever see any. So sorry.
Yeah. So I saw his comment, and I have not personally tried the AREX Delta, but I have heard good things about it. But what his comment reminded me of is all of these Glock clones that are coming out. So the Gen 3 Glock patent expired, and so all these companies are making clones of that gun, making their own version of it. And the only one I've really tried, I do own the Palmetto State Armory Dagger. And it's been fantastic. So I would put that on the list too, because for $300 you get a Glock. It uses Glock magazines. The only thing that's different in it is the trigger, but you can replace it with a factory Glock trigger. So
which you can get from almost anywhere.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of a Glock, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, you know, how many Glocks have I ever shot in my life? I think one.
Oh, wow.
I think I've only shot one Glock ever in my life. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think I've got more than that in this room.
Don't show them on camera.
No, I'm not going to show them on camera.
Speaking of shooting, I'm going to show you guys this real quick, and then because we're getting ready to wind down, this is going to be a good chuckle for everybody. So I looked at my Facebook memories yesterday, and I saw that it was my 1-year anniversary of shooting a gun ever in my life.
Really?
So, yeah. Yesterday was my 1-year shoot-iversary.
Wow.
That's I know. Cool. Yeah. So, and it, you know, just made me, well, first of all, it made me think about all these comments. I get some comments sometimes on my videos like, well, you didn't shoot very well, or here's how you need to shoot better.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I've been shooting for less than a year. So, and I say that, you know, on my description on all my social media accounts, new to shooting and reloading, like learn along with me, you know, so I'm new to it. But anyway, I don't know if I can get a good shot of this, but there's my target. If anybody can zoom in.
Oh yeah.
I shot a 22, and I don't know if you can see, there's not a lot in the center of that target.
Right. They're a little low, but that's okay.
It was kind of a little all over the place, but you know, I was like, I wanted to be able to go out last night actually to the range and reshoot my target and, you know, shoot a new target and see how much better I could do with a 22. Cause I think I even shot that at 5 yards. Pretty embarrassing, but, so I just had to share with all of you guys that it was my 1-year shoot-iversary, and I did nothing to celebrate it.
That's awesome. That's
But
awesome. You've come a long way. I mean, you're teaching other people, and now you're sharing that information with the world here on YouTube. And
that's how easily and quickly we can get bitten by this bug, right? And that's why I always think that when I hear people say that they haven't ever shot a gun, but that they don't like guns, I say, don't be so quick to judge and just assume, like, maybe you should try shooting, like just try it once. Go out with a 22 and just try before you jump to conclusions. So, but it's always great to try to grow our community.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
Get more people involved, and any age. I mean, look at me, I'm 46 and I just started shooting a year ago. So I was 45 when I first started shooting.
I mean, I get students that are in their 60s. They're like, I never shot a gun before.
Yeah.
My husband just died, and so I feel like I need to, like, okay, cool, let's learn. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And it's cool too, because we see a lot of females, I feel, jumping into that pool as well. So,
yep.
Are you seeing a lot of female students in your classes?
Oh,
I know we've actually talked about this before, but I kind of wondered, like, if you'd seen any trend change.
Yeah, the women's classes are the most popular by far.
Yeah.
Well, next to the Tennessee carry permit class, but the women's class is easily the most, and they're the most likely to, like, when they come in the store and they start asking questions, and you say, hey, you should take this class, or hey, you should take a private lesson, or they're more likely to be like, okay. Whereas a guy's like, I don't need that. And my buddy will show me what to do. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll just go out and
I'll figure it out.
Exactly. It kind of reminds me of a guy that we had out at Gateway. Dennis, I'm not sure if you were there when this happened, but there was a guy that came out and he was trying to sight in his AR, and my husband kept seeing, like, he saw him shoot the ceiling several times. And so my husband went out and helped him sight it in, but this guy had no idea. He had no idea how to do it. He said, oh, I thought that I was doing it the right way. And so you said that you actually helped teach that, like, how to, have people be able to do that. So I think that's a really important skill. When you mentioned that you do that, I thought that's really so important to be able to have.
I mean, you gotta guide them in a good direction, give them a positive experience above anything, and make sure they're being safe with the guns.
Yeah.
Because those three things will make them come back.
Right. Exactly.
If they're scared, they're not going to want to do it again. If they don't do well, they're not going to want to do it again.
Yeah. So let's see. I want to get over to these comments because we've only got about 5 minutes left. So Reese made a really great comparison. He said, people who've never had ice cream don't like ice cream. That's true. Cowboy Jeff first started with a 45 at the age of 25. Nice. Reese says, how to sight in a gun, buy a bore sight. Do you recommend those?
If you're a do it yourself kind of person, yeah. And bore sighting really is just a good starting point. It's something where you can get it kind of close to where you want it to be, but you still need to go to a range and verify.
Right.
Especially if you want it to be exactly where you want it to be, you need to actually put rounds through the gun.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna look over at our poll here real quick, see how we ended this poll. Okay. Kind of curious. Of course, it takes forever since I've got so many computers running. Okay, so the Colt 1911, it looks like, is the grand winner tonight. I think that's just because everybody thought, oh, well, since we're watching JennyJ1911, we better vote for that. It had 44%. The Model 10 came in second at 28%. The Desert Eagle had 22%. And the poor little 870 only had 6%. So I guess we're not surprised, are we? So, all right. Well, we are both, I'm sure Affordable Armory is ready to go to bed.
Getting there, yeah.
Who's going to get up first tomorrow, you or me?
I don't know. I don't have to be anywhere till like 8 tomorrow, so probably you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'll be up at 4, so I'll think about y'all sleeping in your beds and your nice posty warm beds when I go out and crawl in my Jeep and it's cold. Oh, well, I really appreciate you being on here with us tonight, Affordable Armory, and it has been so nice to actually just get to talk to you again. And we see each other in passing in comments.
Yeah.
And it's always so much more fun to actually get to talk face to face. So anyway, Walter Bunning says, cool show, VA-ho. I just finished the powder coating too. Hey, perfect timing. See? Nice. Some of our viewers were eating ice cream. Walter Bunning was working his tail off, finishing his powder coating. So yeah. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you after we end the show, Affordable Armory. And
yeah, thanks for having me on. It was fun to be on again.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody for being here. Be on the lookout for some new videos from Affordable Armory coming out very, very soon, as well as JennyJ1911. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on both of our channels. Keep watching, keep supporting. We can't do this without you. And I know I can speak for Affordable Armory as well when I say we can't ever tell you guys how much you mean to us, because you guys are what makes our channels happen. So we thank you very, very much. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great night. I can't wait to talk to you all again soon, and sweet dreams. Good night.